Happy day to all. Once again, we are meeting with our Vidhyalakshmi Matriculation School YouTube channel, and then right now we are discussed like a class 10 science subject, content of chemistry, and unit number 11 carbon and its compounds. Number unit number 11 la carbon and its compounds oda the first part நம்ம already பார்த்தாச்சு. This is the second part, right? No, நம்ம first part la என்ன பார்த்திருக்கோம் அப்படினா carbon ஓட introduction, so how they behave in your carbon components, அது எப்படி இருக்கு அப்படின்றத நம்ம பார்த்து பேசி முடிச்சிருக்கிறோம். Then now in this video we want to discuss like in our carbon compounds how they forming as in a bonding, what the specialty of the carbon components, and then how they are maintain the similarities in their groups அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் நம்ம டீடைலா பார்க்க போறோம். சரியா? Let us watch. Then first one, the formation of carbon compounds அப்படின்றது நம்ம ஆல்ரெடி பார்த்திருக்கிறோம். This is nothing but this is based on right, this is based on the covalent bond behavior அப்படின்றத நம்ம பேசி முடிச்சிருக்கிறோம். அந்த covalent bond behavior எப்படி வருது அப்படினு சொல்லும்போது carbon 4 valency டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் ஆகுது அப்படின்றதை நம்ம கிளாரிஃபை பண்ணிருக்கிறோம். I just want to recall to you carbon symbol C, atomic number 6, electronic configuration based on the main shell, it's known as 2,4. This 4 is reasonable for valency of carbon. This is only linking capacity, that is known as valency, right? Outer sphere la 4 electrons reasonable ah irukku appdin paathirukom. That the reasonable thing for 4 valency, that means tetravalency, it's forming by a covalent behavior. Covalent bond mean the mutual share of electrons within the other components or their same appdin paakrom. Inga paakrache it's look like as it is, it's counting of 6 carbon atoms is linking with the same kinds of particles. That's mean by binding of covalent bond by using their tetravalency. So tetravalency utilize பண்ணிட்டு covalent bond la perfect maintained ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. சரி, okay, this bond is binded with carbon to carbon and this bond also. You can want to think like this, இந்த bond எது கூட சார் லிங்க் ஆயிருக்கு அப்படினு சொன்னா for that any kinds of components except carbon, it's want to addition with the carbon components by using tetravalency. So இங்கிட்டு பார்க்கறச்சே hydrogen include பண்றோம் அப்படினு சொன்னா which is named as hydrocarbon. In case of it, it's oxygen ஓட லிங்க் ஆகுது அப்படினு பார்க்கறச்சே it's known as carbonyl group அப்படிங்க நிறைய நம்ம clarifications கொண்டு போயிட்டே இருக்க முடியும். This is clearly possible at all, right? Then moreover, in our carbon components are having different kinds of behavior nature. அது என்ன different kinds of behavior nature அப்படினா இங்க பார்க்கறோம். For that example, like carbons are binded with the covalent bond அப்படினு பார்த்துட்டோம். அப்படி covalent bond பார்க்கறச்சே ஈக்குவலா 1 carbons கூட பெர்ஃபெக்ட்டா அதை ஷேர் பண்ணிட்டே வந்திருக்கு. That is maintained by the covalent compound be presence in our organic components, right? And then இப்போ இங்க இருக்கிற 6 carbons இங்க லைனா merge பண்ணிருக்கோம். இங்க பார்க்கறச்சே it's want to be splitting the 2 carbon components. இந்த ரெண்டு கார்பன் காம்பவுண்ட்ஸ் இங்கிட்டு இருக்க ஒரு கார்பனையும் இங்கிட்டு இருக்க ஒரு கார்பனையும் கன்சிடர் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அப்படி இருக்கிற ரெண்டு கார்பனை கட் பண்ணி எடுத்துக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது நம்ம எதை கன்சிடர் பண்ணணும்? கார்பனோட வேலன்ஸியை பெர்ஃபெக்டாக கன்சிடர் பண்ணி ஒர்க் பண்ணணும். ஸோ அப்போ அந்த கார்பனோட வேலன்ஸியை பெர்ஃபெக்டாக கன்சிடர் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லும்போது இங்கேருந்து கட் பண்ணி எடுக்கும் போது இட்ஸ் பெர்ஃபெக்ட்லி put it out of their own 4 valency. 4 valencyயோட வெளியே வந்துரும். So that's mean 1 2 3 4 valencies. அது என்ன பண்ணுது? இந்த கார்பனோட இன்னொரு வேலன்சி யூட்டிலைஸ் பண்ணிட்டு கோவலன்ட் பாண்டை இங்க மெயின்டைன் பண்ணும். At the same thing, leftல இருந்து கட் பண்ணி எடுத்துட்டோம் இல்லையா? This carbon is attached with the top of the hydrocarbon. Then it's replaced that which one of the components is binded here and then linked to the given component. அங்கிட்டு அது பைண்ட் ஆயிக்கும். This is on a branch chain hydrocarbon அப்படினு சொல்லுவோம். நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பார்க்கிறது என்னது? long chain hydrocarbon or linear chain hydrocarbon. What it is? Long chain hydrocarbon or else linear chain hydrocarbon. இதை நம்ம கட் பண்ணி ஜாயின் பண்றோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுனால it's created by that branched chain hydrocarbon. சரியா? And then one of the speciality things it will be happens in your organic compounds. It's followed by that ringed structure of hydrocarbons also is there. Ringed structure mean we know very well for that cycles, right? Cycle அப்படினு பாப்போம் இல்லையா? cycle அப்படினா என்னது? where it will be start and end, it's not be find out at a normal way. So அப்படி பார்க்கறச்சே cycle அப்படின்றது இந்த cycle formலயே அது கொண்டு வர முடியும். We just want to consider this carbon Okay, now we just want to consider like as near this carbon. Carbon having valency of 4 அப்படினாச்சு. Carbon 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 valencies are ready to bind, already binded with the 2 valency of this carbon, and then remaining these 2 valency of hydrocarbons is attached with the hydrogen, mean this is overall it consists as in a 6 hydrocarbons, each carbon attached with this 2 hydrogens, mean H12 at the form of cyclic structure, mean this is compound is known as cyclohexane. Okay, what is this? The cyclohexane. Moreover, what's the evidence we want to discuss like this? The hydrocarbon compounds are having different appearance is there. Linear chain compound, branched chain compound, and then ringed chain compound. So different kinds of forms it will be easy to forming by their using of their own tetravalency behavior at a covalent bond behavior. சரியா கண்ணா? Right now. So these all those things is need for general content for our hydrocarbon compounds, how they are binded to each other. Next, this the phenomenon is named as isomerism. நம்ம இப்ப பார்த்துட்டோம் இல்லையா, linear chain, branch chain, cycle அப்படி பார்த்துட்டோம் இல்லையா, அது எல்லாமே எதை ஒரு phenomenon வச்சு find it பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது this is named as isomerism. Right? Isomerism is nothing but the compounds or molecular formulas are same, but the structural arrangements are entirely different to each other, and then more than physical and chemical properties also change to each other. This kind of behavior is known as isomerism. Right? What is meant by isomerism? Molecular formulas are same, but structural elements are entirely different, and then properties also alter to each other. This kind of behavior is known as isomerism. Right? Fine. Now for that example, it's known as butane. But mean நம்ம BUT but னு read பண்ணுவோம். No, not at all. In our chemistry part organisms wise, we want to discuss saying like the letter of BUT is known as but. Okay, but நம்ம read பண்ணனும். But அப்படினு சொல்லிண்டா it's considered like as in 4 carbon atoms. இது எப்படி சார் நாங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறது சொல்றது அப்படினு சொன்னா, we just want to know that initial nomenclature of hydrocarbon compounds, which means number of carbon and then root word. Root word na enna அப்படின்றது நான் அடுத்த கிளாஸ்ல உங்களுக்கு சொல்லி கொடுக்கிறேன். இப்போ பார்க்கறச்சே one carbon is there mean the root word is known as meth. What it is? One carbon is there mean the root word is known as meth, and 2 carbon is there mean the root word is known as eth, and 3 carbon atoms is there mean root word is known as prop, and then 4 mean but. திரும்ப சொல்றேன்னா BUT button read பண்ணக்கூடாது, but ன்னு சொல்லணும். And then 5 it's known as pent or penta. Right now these on that initial nomenclature of organic compounds depends upon the number of carbon. Right? Fine. So that's mean the 4 carbon atoms is there mean the root word is known as but, and then it's named as a single bond hydrocarbon mean butane. So butane ஒன்னு எடுத்துக்கிறோம். 4 carbon atoms linear form la attach ஆயிருக்கு. So this is known as long chain or linear hydrocarbon அப்படி நம்ம சொல்லுவோம். சரியா? And then next பார்க்கறச்சே see here 1 2 3 and then 4 carbon atoms is there, but 3 carbon atoms only in the linear form. What it is? 3 carbon atoms only in the linear form. So that is the name of butane is for that IUPAC nomenclature பார்க்கறச்சே நம்ம butane நம்ம சொல்ல மாட்டோம். This is known as propane மட்டும் தான் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ண போறோம். Moreover, isobutane இங்க ஒரு specific word நான் மென்ஷன் பண்ணிருக்கோம் பாத்தீங்களா? This is on iso mean similar kinds of particles is there. இப்போ இந்த butaneோட isobutaneோட ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் எப்படி போடலாம் அப்படினு சொன்னா, we just simply represent as a caps y. Caps y மாதிரி நம்ம represent பண்ணோம் அப்படினு சொல்லிண்டா, this is clear content about the isobutane because of each corners are having carbon atoms. What it is? Each corners are contain carbon atoms. So it's mentioned like as 4 carbons. 4 carbons அங்க automatically வந்துரும் இல்லையா? Right. But ஆனா இங்கிட்டு பாருங்க, it's only for that straight chain. straight chain formed like this. அது எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படினு பார்க்கறச்சே we just want to represent like as a zigzag lines. So நம்ம CH3 CH2 CH2 CH3 அப்படி lengthy கொண்டு போறதுக்கு பதிலா we just want to represent as a zigzag 4 lines attached within the single line. This is known as normal butane. This is represented as isobutane. This is the specialty for the isomerism behavior of carbon compounds, right? Then next one of that phenomenon is known as pentane. 5 carbon atoms mean it's known as pentane. This is known as isopentane. This is the formation of Y forming, right? Y forming is isopentane சொல்றோம். And then neopentane, that means it's known as a tertiary hydrocarbons. You just see like this, the center carbon. The center carbon it attached with 1 2 3 4 individual atomic components of carbon kuda group of elements la attached irukku. That's why it's named as neopentane. It will be clear, right? Then this is the isomerism behavior. It's nothing but this is known as molecular formulas are same but structural elements are entirely different. More than properties also entirely different to each other of the component. This is the specialty for isomerism, right? Fine. Then next for that we just want to see discuss like that hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons is nothing but in our all kinds of organisms, not only the plants, not only the animals, and in our human body. Organism அப்படினு எடுத்துட்டாலே எல்லாமே எதை டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி தான் இருக்கு? The components of carbon and hydrogen டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி தான் further டெவலப் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. சரி, நம்ம வெறும் ஹைட்ரோகார்பன் மட்டும் இருந்தா ஓகேவா ஆர்கானிசம்ஸ் டெவலப் ஆயிருக்கா அப்படின்னா no, not at all. It's along with the addition of functional behavior. Functioning behavior க்கு reasonable such components add ஆச்சு அப்படினு சொன்னா தான் organisms develop ஆக முடியும். otherwise என்ன முடியும்? வெறும் ஃப்ளஷ்ஷா தான் நம்ம இருந்திருப்போம். சரியா? சரி, போய் பார்க்கலாம் பாருங்க. சோ அதுக்கு ரீசனபிளா இருக்கிற கோர் காம்போனன்ட் அப்படினா எது அப்படினு பார்க்கறச்சே the only one of the compound is known as hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon is nothing but this is the addition of carbon and hydrogen. So what is hydrocarbon means? Hydrocarbons are compounds containing carbon and hydrogen which is named as hydrocarbon. So carbonum hydrogen attach ஆயிருந்தது அப்படினு சொன்னா this is known as hydrocarbon. Then saturated the hydrocarbons are further the n number of classifications is there, but initially we want to discuss like saturated hydrocarbon and unsaturated hydrocarbon right now, right? First want to discuss like that the word clarification for this. Hydrocarbon we know very well, the compounds contain hydrogen and carbon, then it's known as hydrocarbon. Then what is mean by the saturated? In kinds of carbon, what is the valency of carbon? Yes, 4. Carbon's valency is known as 4. Right now, the 4 valency of carbon it's satisfied with individual component of carbon or other element. That is known as saturated hydrocarbon. It's made up of in the single bond. சரி, வருவோம் பாருங்க. For example, like that methane they will be provided here. Methane is here. Methane components of carbons here. Its valencies are 4 valency. We just want to enter, and then hydrogens is came. Each hydrogens are having their valency of 1. It's giving their electrons then attached with that hydrogens. It's making as a bond between carbon to hydrogen, making as a covalent bond. Individual component of other species is attached with the using of carbon's tetravalency by the behavior of covalent bond appeared as a single bond behavior. இப்படி ஒரு compound construct ஆச்சு அப்படினு சொன்னா these kinds of compounds are named as saturated hydrocarbons. அதுதான் நான் பேசிக்கா உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன், புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. Saturated mean it's nothing but don't worry about it anything else in the long thing. Carbon's tetravalency it's satisfied with individual component of an elements. Okay, no, they are same of a carbon or else it's a hydrogen or else any other the components. So எந்த கூடனா பைண்ட் ஆயிருக்கு, அதாவது கார்பனோட 4 வேலன்சியும் individual atomic particles ஓட அட்ராக்ட் ஆயிருக்கு அப்படினு சொன்னா this is known as saturated hydrocarbon, right? Same as it is for that one more examples here. 2 carbons is here, valency of each carbons are 4, it's presented here, and then it's attached with individual carbon atoms, mean it's known as a covalent bond in between to carbon, and then remaining valencies or carbons are attached with the individual hydrogens. Then this compound is also known as saturated hydrocarbon. So what it is named as saturation? The saturation phenomenon is nothing but the carbon valency is fully satisfied with individual component of their own element or other element of a components. This kind of compounds is named as saturated hydrocarbons. That the saturated hydrocarbons mean the initiated compound is known as alkane. Alk mean it's getting from alkyl behavior. Alkyl behavior mean it's based on the hydrocarbon functioning character, functioning group, and then its presence as in a ane mean ane of that components are having single bonded hydrocarbon. So ane என்ற word prefix suffix எங்கு பார்த்துட்டாலும் சரி, that is the compound is contain single bonded hydrocarbon. சரியா? So all the names of in your alkanes are ended with the ane. Methane, see right now this is on methane, this is known as ethane. The number of carbon atoms, 3 carbon atoms mean which is named as propane, The number of carbon atoms 4 mean which is named as butane. Okay, no, these kind of compounds are named as hydrocarbon and then saturated hydrocarbon. And then next want to see, write that unsaturated hydrocarbon, right? Unsaturation, it's nothing but it's entirely opposite for saturation. Saturation mean what we have to clarify? The carbon valency is fully satisfied with individual component of their own